Jesus didn't love me.
You inspect the Spiral Cup, the greatest prize in all the Spiral. It looks like it's been here a while.
For years I have taught magic and I am also the judge of this fine. You come from visit to qualify for. There is no shame in defeat, so do not feel too badly if you do not succeed. Perhaps next year, no?
Well, well, well. A Wizard of Ravenwood, huh? I'll go easy on ya. Go and tell Master Glendammit that you won the duel. I wasn't expecting much, but you certainly showed me a thing or two.
See Mrs. Dowager outside. She will see to your accommodations within the student dormitory.
Good for you. Now that we... You should also take the opportunity to put your Ravenwood class ring away. There's a small dresser. It should be safe there.
You place the Ravenwood class ring in the dresser. It should be safe here. You should report back to Mrs. Dowager.
I trust you had no trouble settling in. It's time you met the headmistress of Pigswick Academy, Belladonna Crisp. She makes a point of meeting all students. Please go to the headmistress's office and introduce yourself. Please don't be late. She's a strong believer in discipline.
I've been waiting. What kept you? I suppose you've been welcomed by Mrs. Dowager and passed Benedict's test, so let's dispense with the formalities. I'm not sure what claptrap and nonsense they fill your head with at Ravenwood, but at Pigswick Academy, we study real magic. The first order of business will be for you to go and meet the professors here. They're a top-notch group, without exception. I hope they can straighten out some of the foolishness Ambrose and his... The classrooms are located throughout the city. They are as follows. Professor Thaddeus Price, who teaches Tempest Magic. The Earth Professor is our very own Chester Drawls. Ember Magic is taught by Professor... Rounding out our faculty are Quentin Burble teaching Frost Magic and Velma Pepper in the Equilibrium classroom. You look confused. You don't know those schools of magic. Speak to our faculty. Perhaps they can help.
Well, I am Professor Drawers. Chester Drawers. What? Why are you smirking? At any rate, I teach Earth Magic here at Pigswick Academy. Magic of ground, growth, and the untamed wild. Because my school is that of the earth, I find it stifling to teach inside, so I lecture outside whenever possible. Other schools teach flights of fancy and arcane manipulation of ethereal flummery, but earth magic is the magic of the real. From earth came all things, and eventually all shall return to its clutches. Unless you have further questions, I really must return to my duties. So many papers to grade.
Hello there! Did I surprise you? I'll wager you're thinking, whoa, is that a Yeti? Teaching? I'd never expect that. Chaos! That's the sort of thing I teach here. I am Professor Hieronymus Chaos is the magic of the unexpected, the unusual, the unpredictable. It defies logic and turns things downside up. Anything and everything you can imagine can be found in chaos, except order. Order is boring. You don't want to find that. We'll talk more later, I'm sure. Or am I?
Well, hello there, my little... You should talk to someone who knows then. Oh, that would be me. Caught me off guard, you did. Right. Where was I? I am Professor Quentin Burble at your service. You may have surmised that I am not from around these parts. I teach Pigswick Academy students about the nature of frost. Frost is fleeting and quick, a fragile and delicate thing. It appears rarely, but when it does, it forms crystals of amazing beauty and complexity. Frost is like magic in that. Do you understand frost magic now? Because I'm afraid I don't know more than that. I'm behind in my lesson preparation.
Why, hello there, young wizard. You have the look of a newcomer to Pigswick Academy. Welcome to my laboratory. I am Professor Velma Pepper, and I teach the magic of equilibrium. My school represents bringing order to the spiral. The natural world is full of confusion and disorganization, and thus it is the role of the equilibrium wizard to create harmony. We must use whatever tools we have in this important duty. All are equal, so long as they perform the task at hand. I trust that what I've taught you instills a semblance of order to your own worldview. Now, though, I must return to work.
Who dares disturb me? You must be here for the tournament, eh? Another of those tiresome Meet the Professors tours. Let me introduce myself, then. I am Professor Edna Fuligen, and I instruct Pigswick students in spirit magic. Spirit magic concerns the ghostly state that exists after life. We are students of the immaterial world. I've heard of problems with Professor Malastair back at Ravenwood. Maybe his assistant Dworgen will be better.
Hey there, little wizard. Fancy meeting you here. Looks like you're out to broaden your educational horizons, eh? If you got a moment to spare, I'd appreciate a little help. No trouble to you, though. I'm looking for some plants native to these here parts. A species of flower called the wallflowers. They're a shy and retiring sort of flower. They'll hang close to walls throughout all of Wisteria. If you could find them all and return to me when you know where they are, I'd be mighty grateful.
Greetings, O honored guest from Wizard City. I am Professor Anku, your humble servant and guide to Ember Magic. Ember Magic is about warmth and security. In the cold dark of the spiral, Ember is like a warm rock to stretch out on. Wizards who study Ember Magic are not very adventuresome and prefer the comforts of hearth and home. Ember Wizards are crafters, doctors, and cooks, using flame to forge artifacts, treat injuries, or bake cookies. So from the Ember we can learn much. Better to be safe and patient than to leap into action. I hope that explains things.
Greetings, young wizard. I am Professor Thaddeus Price, Professor of Tempest Magic. I suppose you're interested in learning something about Tempest Magic, right? Tempest Magic is about duality and hidden meaning. Like the tide, it's about the ebb and flow of life. The surface is stormy, to be sure, but beneath it is dark and quiet, and the waters are deep beyond imagining. I gather they teach a slightly different approach at Ravenwood, but I'm fairly certain that here we have it right.
Did the tour of our faculty help repair the inadequacies of your prior education? Perhaps when the tournament is over, you can transfer from Ravenwood to Pigswick and really learn something. I've heard that at Ravenwood, they teach you that the source of all magic is a tree, and it's in the center of your school. How awfully convenient that must be. Do they really expect you to believe such nonsense? If you take a look at the Fount of Magic, you'll see the error of your ways. It's in the center of campus, not far from here. When you're finished, return here and let me know what you've observed. You're a student, so go on, learn something.
You examine the Fount of Magic. Looks like any other fountain. Something doesn't add up about this place.
Did you notice anything magical about the fount? I mean, surely you saw how it must be the one true source of magic. You know, we heard from Headmaster Ambrose that you were good at solving problems. I've a mind to put that to use. Go and speak with Captain O'Hare outside the gate to Pegasus Place. Tell him I sent you and that you're there to help.
Sorry, no admittance. Headmistress Crisp sent you. I'm not sure. If you're anything like the students here, I can't see how that will help. Still, if she vouches for you, then who am I to argue? Let me explain the problem and you see what you can do. Pegasus Place has been taken over by a fierce band of goblins. We don't know where they came from, or how to send them back. You'd be doing us a favour if you could jump in and thin the wood goblins' ranks. Make them think twice about staying. Can you go into Pegasus Place and defeat 6 wood goblins, and return to me when you're done? Be careful in there.
Jesus in den Norden. Jesus in Hidden Love Method. Jesus in Hidden Love Method.
You certainly sense things might be a little safer now that they know not to mess with you. Our head gardener, groundskeeper Vern, is missing. Can you go back into Pegasus' place again and see if he's all right?
Why, hello. What are you doing here? This place isn't safe for students. Wisteria was once wild and overgrown with vines, but we cut them back and made this place a school, Pigswick Academy. I am groundskeeper Vern, head gardener around here. It is my job to know every inch of these streets and parks. These goblins and their hobgoblin overseers are new, arriving just when the tournament was to begin. They're not native to this world of Wisteria, so I would like to know where they came from. Since they arrived, some strange new plants have sprung up on Pegasus Place, and I suspect they're tied to the new visitors. Can you go and collect 3 samples of these strange plants so I can do some research into their world of origin? Wonderful. I'll compare these to my field journal, Plants of the Spiral, and see what I can learn. With the guards afraid to enter Pegasus Place, the area's undefended. What's the Airy? Well, it's the stables where we raise Pegasi to be trained as mounts and gifted throughout the spiral. If you're up to it, could you check on Lappin Wing Tamer, the stable master of the Airy? The Airy is just down the street.
Whoa! I dared not hope anyone would come to find me with the goblin horde all around. I don't know who was crazy enough to send a kid into this place, but as far as I'm concerned, any help is welcome. My first concern is for the well-being of the Pegasi under my care. Can you help me see to their feeding? Unfortunately, the goblins came through and stole all of their food. I don't know why, because they don't even eat the stuff. Tell you what, if you want to help, you'll get back 5 bags of Pegasus feed. You'd be a lifesaver. Well, good work. That reminds me of an old joke. What do Pegasi like to eat? Flapjacks! Well, thanks for your help. I'd feel much better, though, if I were able to lock the Ares doors against the goblin horde. I left my keys inside, but they were stolen by the hobgoblins when they ransacked the place. Could you recover the stable keys from the hobgoblin who took them? When you get them, bring them back to me. You've done it. Thanks to you, the area will be secure. When the Goblin Horde first arrived, I did some scouting to see what was going on. I saw where they came from. The goblins sprung from a magical portal down the street. You should take a look at it and tell Groundskeeper Vern.
You examine the magic portal. It would be risky to interfere with it without understanding it. You should describe it to Groundskeeper Vern. Maybe he's figured out where those plants came from by now.
Those plants you collected for me earlier were listed as native to the world known as Weirwood. If the goblins are coming through a magic portal, then it stands to reason that they are from Weirwood as well. A student from Weirwood came to the tournament. Beatrice Wildwind, I think her name was. Maybe you've met her. Maybe you can ask her if she knows anything about this magic portal. I'd hate to think she was responsible, but best to check. can you help me? Before the goblin horde appeared, I left my special I suspect the wood goblins took them, as they have a bit of magic in them, and goblins crave any enchanted trinkets. I'd take it as a personal favor if you could get those shears back from the wood goblins.
What's that? A magic portal? From my world? It can't be! From what you describe, the plant is wild viridian. It grows native to Weirwood, where I come from. The goblins like to use it as a seasoning, so they plant it wherever they go. If it's here on Wisteria, it's their doing. A goblin portal is dangerous to meddle with, but I know of an incantation that can close it, never to return. We'll need some ingredients for the incantation, and those can be found in the Merchant Street, here in Pigswick Academy. Here's a list of ingredients. Visit the merchants listed and return to me when you have the items on my list.
Beatrice copies a list of ingredients from her spell book and gives it to you. Some of these items seem a little strange.
A spindle of enchanted thread, spun from fog and spiderweb? I have that right here.
Crystal? Made of the dried tears of a cyclops? Those are on special this week.
Rainbow ink from a sky squid. You're in luck. The shipment from Imperia just came in.
Some adamant metal filings? Sure, I have that laying around. I usually throw it back in the kiln to melt again.
A flask of breath caught from a night gaunt? I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere. You're welcome to it.
There, that should do it. Bad news. I looked at my spell book and I realized I have the ingredients for the ritual, but I don't have the incantation. They should have a copy of it at the library here in Pigswick Academy. Could you go to the library and get it? I think the librarian is named Hugo Chatterley. Tell him it's of utmost importance.
An incantation to dispel a goblin portal? That's not exactly the sort of spell we let new students meddle with. That's in the restricted collection. I can only release the incantation with the permission of the headmistress. Speak to Headmistress Crisp and return to me with the permission slip. It's but a formality, but rules are rules. You know, it occurs to me that as a visiting student, you haven't received any instruction in the history of this school. Rather than chew your ear with a boring lecture, I recommend seeking out part of the 4-book series The Pigswick Papers. This fine set of volumes will illuminate the darkness, stoke the imagination, and set you on a path of higher learning. Inconveniently, these works are spread throughout Wisteria, so you will have to keep your eyes open for them.
What's this? I send you to help Captain O'Hare, and the next I hear from you, you're talking about dispelling goblin portals? Very well then. I'm getting a clear picture of how Ambrose runs his school, and believe me, it's not a pretty picture. Take this back to Chatterley and tell him he's to help you to the best of his abilities. Is that all?
Headmistress Crisp hands you a permission slip for you to access the incantations book that you need.
I understand from your Ravenwood transcripts that you're quite a detective, willing to help solve mysteries. We have a slight problem here in Pigswick's Merchant Street. Someone has spent some false gold, illusions cast on pebbles. Speak with the merchants affected, Oliver Quickneedle, Ophelia Moonreach, and Geoffrey Spellsmith, to find the guilty party.
Excellent. I took the liberty of copying the incantation you need while you were speaking with Headmistress Crisp. Use it with caution.
Hugo Chatterley hands you a strip of parchment paper with the incantation written carefully upon it.
Wonderful! I hope it wasn't any trouble. If you're the only one who has permission to enter Pegasus Place, you'll have to perform the incantation yourself. Just take the items you collected from the merchants and the incantation you got from the library and follow the instructions. You should check in with Groundskeeper Vern before you do anything. He should know what to expect if it goes badly. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I hope.
You came back? Don't you realize this place is doomed? You brought a means of dispelling the magic portal and all of the ingredients. Let me see that. There is a problem. The final ingredient in the spell requires the soul stone of the leader of the goblin horde. The goblins have spoken fearfully of Lord Graustark. I suspect that whoever he is, he's lurking in the tower down the street. You should go and defeat this Lord Graustark and collect his soul stone, the source of his magic. Only then can you use the incantation to dispel the portal. Return to me when you have done that impossible deed.
Is it time already for my afternoon snack? I don't remember placing an order for Wizard, but you'll do.
You find a small, gleaming gem, shimmering with power. This must be the Soul Stone groundskeeper Vern spoke of. After his unceremonious dismissal from the Ravenwood School of Magic, Sir Bainbridge Pigswick devised a plan. He would create a school of his own, where his unorthodox and less common philosophy of magic would be taught. Pigswick squandered his inheritance and purchased a deserted, vine-covered city on the world of Wisteria. Where others saw a series of wrecked, vine-choked buildings, Pigswick saw a magnificent school of magical arts. You follow the instructions in the incantation, using the items you gathered and the soul stone to power it. When you finish the incantation, the magic portal vanishes. No more goblins will come through it.
By the great tree, you've done it! Lord Graustark will trouble this street no longer. You should tell Headmistress Crisp the wonderful news. Be proud of what you've accomplished.
What's that? You've impressed me. Maybe you've been able to learn a thing or two about magic, despite your training. Though your aid in the Pegasus Place matter is appreciated, it will not affect your participation in the tournament. Speaking of, it is time for you to report to Mrs. Dowager. The first round of magical dueling is about to commence. You must accept my apology for the delays with the tournament. They're readying some of the dueling halls for the matches. In the meantime, perhaps you can make yourself useful. Our librarian, Hugo Chatterley, is in. Please visit the library when you're able and ask Mr. Chatterley if he can find some use for you.
Why, hello again. I hope you've had a relaxing time settling in. Look at the time. The tournament should commence soon. Oh, but I've yet to give the students copies of the tournament rules. Could you be a dear and help me out? I need you to go give copies of the rules to each of the competitors. Here is one for your own use, and copies for Beatrice Wildwind, Kisai Shugenja, Nalia Dunstrider, and Randolph Spell. You can find them all in the student dormitory. Return to me when you've given them their tournament rules. If I might trouble you for a bit more of your time, I was wondering if you could help me find some wayward students. They are being disciplined, but snuck out of the study hall they were told to stay in while they did their homework. They call themselves the Brunching Club. I've looked throughout Pigswick. They must be in Pegasus Place or Tanglewood Way. Their names are Kelsey Dreamslinger, Michael Engelgrinder, Diora Skyflower, and Flynn Silvermorn. Return here after finding them.
The tournament rules? Thank you. It'll be great to do. I can't wait to see what you've got. Can you help me with something? I lost my diary while I was sightseeing on Pegasus Place, and I'd like it back. I went to look around, but I suspect that one of the wood goblins took it. Can you go to Pegasus Place and get it back?
Most excellent. I was concerned about the lack of formalities. I will now meditate on the coming duel. Muda's smile upon you.
You have my thanks. It is wise for them to enforce rules to this tournament. Best for the safety of all.
Rules? I don't need any stinking rules. I've got this tournament in the bag.
Thank you. Now that that little matter is out of the way, we can get started. It is what you came here for, after all. Before you compete for the Spiral Cup, there is a time-honored tradition students have when they want good luck for a test. You should go into the tournament hall and knock on the Spiral Cup. It rings like a bell. But now it is time for your first magical duel. Off now, and good luck.
The Spiral Cup is missing. How could that be? Maybe Benedict Glendemming knows what has happened. Pigswick staffed his academy with instructors drawn from across the spiral, hired for their willingness to relocate. Rather than the dusty, tried-and-true methods of teaching magic, Pigswick sought new and less traditional approaches. Pigswick students were among the finest of those willing and able to afford the Academy's exceptionally high tuition. With lenient entry requirements, Pigswick is the primary school for students lacking obvious magic ability.
There you are. I noticed the Spiral Cup was missing, and I wanted to see how you would react to that. This is quite suspicious. With the Spiral Cup missing, the tournament will be a mockery. Pigswick Academy will be known as the school that lost the prize. You should inform Mrs. Dowager about this. She will know what to do.
The what is what? Do not worry overmuch. I am certain that the Spiral Cup will turn up sometime soon. It must just be a terrible mistake. If it was taken deliberately, it was undoubtedly the work of someone attempting to discredit Pigswick Academy. No matter. Even without the cup, the tournament must continue without delay. Please report to Benedict in the tournament hall to start.
Mrs. Dowager is right. The Spiral Cup is but a prize. What is important is the skill and courage that wins it. We will see about finding the cup in due course, but now it is time for your duel. You are matched against Kisai Shugenja, our representative from Mushu. You must face one another in the Hall of the Hydra. Return here when the duel has a winner.
Greetings, O honorable opponent. Though I will defeat you, I hold for you the greatest respect. You were the worthiest opponent I have yet dueled. I have learned much from this encounter, and I thank you for the lesson. Master Glendemming awaits word of the outcome of our duel. Could you deliver it to him?
You are the victor? I am surprised. Young Shugenja is quite the duelist. Perhaps Diego taught you something after all. On the matter of the disappearance of the Spiral Cup, I have examined the area and made an important finding. Congratulations on your victory. You should tell Mrs. Dowager what has transpired, and deliver this to her, will you?
Benedict hands you a small sealed pouch with his stamp upon it.
The first round goes to Ravenwood. What's this? A pouch from Glendemming? Let me see what's inside. It is vitally important that someone tell Headmistress Crisp that the spiral cup has been misplaced. Can you do it? Report to her office and let her know that we are still searching for it. Please give this pouch to her and do not open it.
I heard about your victory in the first round. But what's this I hear about the spiral cup? And what's in that little pouch?
Benedict Glendemming has sent me a piece of evidence that points to the identity of the one who made away with the spiral cup.
Before I make any accusations, I would like you to go to the student dormitory and bring your Ravenwood ring back here. It is probably in the small dresser you were assigned. Please do fetch it at once.
Hello there. Could you help me? I'm in charge of a group of brand new students, and they've gone missing. I was providing the students a guided tour of Pigswick. Then I turned around and noticed they were nowhere to be found. We toured several classrooms, including those of Professor Velma Pepper, Professor Anku, and Professor Edna Fuligen. Could you help retrace our steps, speaking to each of those professors, and see if you can find where they went to?
You searched the dresser for the Ravenwood ring Mr. Lincoln gave you, but it is missing.
Missing, was it? Exactly as I thought. Is this what you were looking for?
Headmistress Crisp opens the small pouch from Benedict, and out falls your school ring.
Glendemming claims this was found at the scene of the crime. It seems highly suspicious. Almost too... Headmaster Ambrose must wish to regain the spiral cup, so I wonder if he has sent you to take it by trickery. Still, leaving such an obvious clue at the scene of the crime is such a dunder-headed move, even for a student of Ravenwood. Despite the loss of the Spiral Cup, the tournament will not be stopped, which means you must return to the tournament hall. Speak with Master Glendemming and see who you are due to compete with next. Return to me when you have completed your match.
Headmistress Crisp wants to continue the tournament. Very well, then. Your next duel is in the Hall of the Harpy. I have drawn lots to see who you will compete with. This round, you must pit your magic skills against Beatrice Wildwind. Speak to her once you get inside the Hall of the Harpy, and begin when you are both ready. The winner must report back to me.
Watch out, wizard. Pigswick folk are cheaters. They'll break the rules whenever they can get away with it.
Are you ready to begin? I haven't come all the way from Weirwood to lose this match, so don't expect any mercy. Though. Maybe I'll have better luck next year. I'm sure Master Glendemming will want to hear the outcome of the duel. Can you tell him?
You won! Congratulations! Though this does not clear you from suspicion. Report back to Headmistress Crisp in her office. I'm sure she has more questions for you.
You've returned, with the air of victory about you. Very impressive. If you wish to prove your innocence, you'll need to do a bit of detective work. Go to the tournament hall and inspect the area where the Spiral Cup was taken, where Benedict claimed to find your ring. Inspect the area. See if you can find anything that proves you aren't the culprit. Return to me with your findings.
You find a few tiny leaves, pieces of bark, and some strands of vine. They don't look like they belong here.
That may have been tracked in by the thief. The clues you found might help us determine the guilty party. Perhaps someone tracked in those bits of leaf and bark. Groundskeeper Vern knows all there is to know about the plants found on Wisteria, the world of Pigswick Academy. Maybe he can help you. Take those scraps of plant to Groundskeeper Vern on Pegasus Place and tell me what you learn.
Let me take a look. That plant isn't anything native to Wisteria. Ask Professor Drawers outside the Earth classroom. He'll know.
I joined the brunching club to meet interesting people, but all we seem to do is sneak out of study hall.
Very interesting. Where did you find this, you say? It looks like the mysterious new growth that overruns all of Tanglewood Way, but there is no way to be sure. Pity the street is closed off to all students. The spiral cup will never be recovered, and Pigswick will suffer for it. I suggest returning to Headmistress Crisp and telling her that this investigation is at a dead end.
No one was able to identify the mysterious pieces of plant? Most suspicious. All of us at Pigswick Academy must maintain decorum in this trying time, and that means continuing with the tournament. To the tournament hall with you then, where you must meet with Master Glendemming and compete in your next match. Return here when you have completed your duel to continue our investigation into the Spiral Cup's disappearance.
I'm afraid your duel is delayed. You must face Naria Doonstrider in the Hall of the Spectre, but she is nowhere to be found. Can you go to the student dormitory and see if she is still there? Warn her that if she does not show, the duel is forfeit.
I'm ruined. My wand. I lost it somewhere and I can't compete without it. I know we're competitors, but can you help me? I was with Randolph Spellshine when I lost it. My world of Mirage has few plants, and I wanted to see Tanglewood Way. Randolph agreed to help me sneak in to see the street, but it was full of strange and scary tree people. I had to flee. Maybe Randolph Spellshine knows where my lost wand might be. Could you speak to him and see if he saw where I lost it?
Really? Nalia has lost her wand? It's a miracle she knows it at all. What kind of wizard loses their wand? Sure, she dropped it in Tanglewood Way when she fled in fear. I suppose I could have said something, but why would I? If she can't keep track of her wand, and it harms her in the tournament, more power to the rest of us, eh? Go and tell Nalia her wand is still there in Tanglewood Way, if she's brave enough to go get it on her own.
It's on Tanglewood Way? Oh no, I can't go back there. When Randolph Spellshine and I went into Tanglewood Way, we convinced Lieutenant Roger to let us through the gate. Could you go and see if Lieutenant Roger will let you into Tanglewood Way so you can find and return my missing wand?
Hold it right there. No one else will enter this street. 2 students got in earlier and they barely escaped. If you're looking for a missing wand, you might ask Sergeant Harvey over there. He may have seen it before we closed the way.
Sorry, I haven't seen any wand, but then I wasn't really looking when I turned tail and ran right out of there. If you want to go into Tanglewood Way and find that lost wand, there's a small crack in the wall. You can wriggle right through.
This looks like it might belong to Nalia. You should check in with Sergeant Harvey, then take it back to her. Looking around, you notice a lot of greenery that looks suspiciously like the plants you found in the tournament hall.
You found it. Good work, that. I'm sure Nalia Doonstrider will want to see it back soon.
My wand! I've been beside myself with worry. Thank you so much. Now that I've got my wand, I'm ready to duel. You should go tell Master Glendemming that I'll be there shortly. I'll see you in the tournament hall in the Hall of the Spectre.
Greetings. Would you like to learn about Mushu floral arrangement? It is a profound and beautiful part of our artistic heritage. You must first collect 3 flowers of exceeding beauty. I am told that the most wondrous are found on Tanglewood Way.